Boxing Day football. What a brilliant time of year for football it is. For some reason, there is always absolutely mental games on Boxing Day, and now I'm going to talk about one of them. Today's game, Newcastle versus Leicester. Newcastle running out 3-0 winners, absolutely battering Leicester in the first half. Second half sort of died out a bit, but let's talk about how brilliant Newcastle were because they are absolutely cooking in the Premier League and are looking like more than top four at the moment. Title contenders, really. And Eddie Howe has just done an absolute brilliant job at Newcastle. And Almiron is still an absolute baller, even after the break. He's continuing his fantastic form. Then you've got Joe Linton, the absolute powerhouse, still somehow performing on the left wing, centre mid, wherever Eddie Howe puts him at the moment, he performs. Bruno Guimaraes, the Samba playmaker, but also quality defensive coverer, is still performing for them as well, which is absolutely brilliant. After not getting too many minutes for Brazil, he's come back to Newcastle and showed something that maybe Brazil were missing when they got knocked out by Croatia. Just a player to keep the ball moving without doing too much of the flair stuff, with a bit of it in there, but a player to keep the ball moving and win it back and keep Brazil in possession. However, let's talk about the whole game. So, just 7 minutes in, just 7, Newcastle are 2-0 up. First up, a clumsy Amati challenge in the box sees Chris Wood get a penalty, and Chris Wood, going into that game, he would have been worried because most Newcastle fans were definitely thinking, I wish we had Callum Wilson. However, Chris Wood proved them wrong. A minute and 30 seconds in, I think the actual penalty was taken pretty much a whole minute later. He thumps in the penalty past Danny Ward. I think it was just pure power, straight down the middle. Ward committed himself to the left, I think, and just cracking penalty from Chris Wood. Maybe he should give Harry Kane some lessons. And then, literally just a couple minutes later, brilliant 1-2. I think it was Guimaraes. It was one of the midfielders, I believe. 1-2 with Almiron. The Paraguayan gets in, breezes past like 3-4 defenders, and then just coolly slots it past Ward into the bottom corner. What a goal, and considering pretty much no games are being played in December, that could honestly be goal of the month just because these are like the only games being played. And then, third goal, I think around half an hour in, Joel Linton, the absolute powerhouse, scores a bullet header off a corner and really shows Leicester that they are struggling, and it was just a horrible day for Leicester in general. I mean, Tielemans in the midfield, you could just see how frustrated he was the whole game. He is definitely a good player, but he looked just the way he was for Belgium, where he was just so poor, just like the rest of the Belgium squad, and he looked the same here at Leicester. And considering he's not re-signing the contract, what big club is actually going to want him the way he's playing at the moment? It's a real difficult situation for him and for Leicester because he still does have the quality and they don't want to see him go on a free. Next up, then, in the second half, I mean, after Newcastle went 2-0 up first, we'll keep talking about the first half. After they went 2-0 up, it then sort of, Leicester actually had a couple chances and created a bit. Couldn't finish, couldn't create any proper chances. Harvey Barnes miskicked quite a few, to be honest. But other than that, after Joe Linton scored, Newcastle then dominated for the rest of the first half. And the second half, it was a bit more boring, although in like the last few minutes, it was offside, but Wout Faes still got a goal line clearance. And with the Daka penalty, by the way, people saying it should have been a pen. However, Daka did get the ball first, but he poked it into Pope, which is where Pope got the touch on the ball, and then it was just natural he would hit Daka on that follow through. So, not a penalty, although maybe on a different day, Leicester could have sparked some sort of comeback or just not conceded as much in the first place. I mean, they were just really poor defensively and they couldn't bypass Newcastle's brilliant press as well. You could tell that Eddie Howe really has them believing in the way he wants to play and the system that he wants, and they are performing so well and look like probably the best team in the league at the moment and are genuine title contenders. Arsenal, before they played a game against West Ham, are only 4 points ahead. So Newcastle seriously could win the league, just like their fans were singing in the stands. Absolutely brilliant. People may not agree with it because of the Saudi money, but for a big club like Newcastle, they are where they deserve to be. Anyway, that's this match reaction. Tell me what you thought of the game in the comments, and also subscribe because it really helps us out, and I'll see you guys next time.